The marshals are dressing the circuit ahead of the final round of the 2016 historic Formula Ford Championship. The green flag is waved and the cars are released from the assembly area, and this is how they all start for round 15 of the championship. Callum Grant, after winning the race earlier on today, will go off pole with Ben Sims alongside him. Ed Thurston and Richard Tarling on road 2 with Sam Mitchell and Rob Wainwright behind. We've got David Wild, Mark Shaw, Ben Anderson in his first weekend. Cormac Flanagan, he had a good race earlier on, here start 10th. Ben Tilley, after retiring earlier on, won the heat and will start 13th ahead of James Buckton and Roland Svensson. It'll be a capacity 36 car grid for this one. Plenty of slipstream in action on the Silverstone National Circuit, the third race, championship race of the season here at Silverstone. We had a race on the Grand Prix circuit earlier in the year, a couple of races today. Callum Grant's already won the championship, so this race is all about who can take the victory. Here, start on pole, you can see it's a packed grid, which is fantastic to see. Good crowd too in the BRDC grandstand ahead of this one.
66 and 82, row 14, the fifth.
So who can take the victory? The lights go out, away they go. Who's made the best start? Callum Grant from pole, the outside line heading towards Cops Corner, takes his Merlin into the lead. Ben Sims in second, and the rest of the field flow through. Looks like a good, clean, safe start from everybody. On board with the classic team Merlin racer Mark Shaw, the former Formula 3000 racer. Down a gear he goes, he's looking to the inside of Rob Wainwright, just ahead. Richard Tarling looks up, he goes out wide in his first weekend this year. He was won a race at Brands Hatch last year. Back for this weekend. Ben Sims, we can look back from it. Ed Thurston's got a good run there. He's Eldon, he's all over the back of the Jomo of Sims, heading down towards Brooklands. He's looking to the inside, and then Sims is much later on the brakes. He looks to the inside of Callum Grant, and the rest of the field flow through. Great sight all these Formula Ford 1600s make. So much battle, it's just one long train of cars, isn't it? But it is Grant who's held on ahead of Sims, and on out the cockpit for Ed Thurston. The 16-year-old, the former Carter, pits with a problem there, so he's out of it after such a strong race earlier on the podium. The cement cust being kicked up too, and Cormac Flanagan here is looking to the outside of David Wild, and he's going to go right round him here. Flanagan gains a place, but he slides out wide, clatters over the curbs. Ross Driver a bit wide too, and that's Ben Tilley behind. Tilley's got a good run here. He overtook 20 cars earlier on. He's only got past 12 in this one to win, and he goes round the outside of Driver to gain the place. Behind, Roland Svensson has a big slide there as he chucks the car into Beckett to try and get the best run out of the corner as possible. Yes, look how he's pulling up towards Driver and up alongside him underneath the bridge. Meanwhile, up front, Sam Mitchell goes up into second position. He's got ahead of Ben Sims. That's Cormac Flanagan going in deep too. But there's our leader, that's Grant, but he's now being chased by Mitchell. Mitchell was second earlier on before he spun on some oil that had been put down. He set the fastest lap of the race in that one. He hasn't done a full season. He was a winner at Alton Park. Richard Tarling, the former Formula Palmer Audi champion here, chasing Rob Wainwright. He's looking to the outside. Wainwright in the Eldon, he finished second in the championship this year. Runs a bit wide there. Tarling in the Jamin. Now he's coming up alongside Wainwright. Down towards Beckett. He's looking on the outside for the left-hander, but that gives him the inside for the right-hander, and he's going to gain the place. He'll be up to fourth here. He's all over the curves on the inside. Wainwright trying to come back at him. The two cars are absolutely wheel to wheel here. Great racing between the pair. Nothing can separate the two of them. How close do you like it? Underneath the vehicle bridge they go. Mark Shaw's trying to come round the outside of both of them. Meanwhile, Sam Mitchell takes the lead. He goes down the inside of Callum Grant, and Mark Shaw's passed both Wainwright and Shaw, and somebody's going off there. That looks like Matt Wrigley. So it is Sam Mitchell that leads. It's a Merlin 1-2 as he leads Callum Grant, and still side by side is Richard Tarling. This time with Mark Shaw. Rob Wainwright's got back ahead of Shaw already. So much action here, it's hard to follow it all. See, there's battles all the way through the field. Somebody's car there puffing out a bit of smoke. On board with Sims, looking back from Sims. It's Rob Wainwright behind. Sims in the Jomo, Eldon for Wainwright, and he's closing now in the slipstream down toward Beckett. He's going to look to the inside here, and Wainwright's going to gain the place. They're side by side behind, as Tarling still going side by side with Mark Shaw. Shaw makes the move work though through Beckett. He goes ahead, and Wainwright also past Sims. Shaw's got a good run out of Beckett here in his Merlin, the Classic Team Merlin squad running that car. And that's for third place. It's 3 wide, and Shaw's going to have it, I think. Yes, he's got third position, and Ben Sims and Rob Wainwright are still side by side here. And Sims is going to pass both of them here. He's up to third. A great move there from Ben Sims. Now Rob Wainwright's kind of come back through here. They're 3 wide. Richard Tarling behind them, and Sims looks like he's losing out. So it is Mark Shaw that's third. 4th is Sims. 5th is Wainwright. 6th is Tarling. Down towards Cops Corner they go. Now Sims is looking to the inside once more. He gains the place. Rob Wainwright's dropped back there, so Sims back into third. He was 5th a moment ago. Now Shaw regains third place. Richard Tarling wants to get involved in it, going down towards Beckett. He's on the inside of Sims. He's on the inside of Shaw. They're 3 wide heading through Beckett. I didn't know there was room to do that. Well, they've made it work. It's Shaw in third. It's side by side between Tarling and Sims. Sims has got the better exit, so he goes ahead. Underneath the bridge they go, down towards Brooklyn. See Wainwright's nose there, you can see the white nose of the Eldon. Meanwhile up ahead, Sims dives to the inside of Shaw. Wainwright passes Tarling. Down to Luffield. Tarling looking to the outside here. Can't find a way through. What a battle though. A fantastic way to conclude the season. Really shows the kind of race that we've had this year in the championship. Tarling absolutely on the gearbox of Wainwright there. Sims and Shaw just starting to break away from this pair now. It's Tarling on the inside of Wainwright. They're going to run side by side through Cops here. Really fast corner. Wainwright stays ahead. Down towards Beckett they go now. Tarling chasing Wainwright. He's looking to the outside, but we'll give him the inside for the right-hander. Is he going to go through here? He's all over the curves again. Tarling uses so much curb on the inside of Beckett's, but he couldn't find a way past. Richard Tarling, one of the drivers who will be racing in the Waterhays Trophy in a few weeks' time here at Silverstone. And now he's going to the inside. Meanwhile, it's still Mitchell and Grant at the front, but we're going to see this battle for 5th. There it is. It's Tarling still ahead of Wainwright. And look at all the cars behind. You've got Ben Anderson there ahead of Ben Tilley. He's up to 8th. Then you've got Cormac Flanagan, David Wild, James Buckton 2, and there's a couple of more cars on the back of that. Ross Driver is one of them. Didn't quite who pick out the last of those cars. We're back on board with Mark Shaw. He's got a great run through Woodcote. He's up on the inside of Ben Sims. He's going for third here on the inside line. He has a big slide through the middle of the corner. Meanwhile behind you've got Wainwright running very wide at Cops Corner. The marshals may well be looking at that. Down towards Beckett's. Tarling here right down the tail. Oh, and he just clips Wainwright there and spins out. Such a shame there for Tarling. Meanwhile, Sims and Shaw are still at it. They're side by side, and Wainwright is catching them. Then you've got James Button up to 6th. Ben Tilley is next up. There's Ross Driver looking to the inside of David Wild here. And he gets it done. Driver ahead of Wild. Wild coming back though on the inside, heading up to Woodcote, and there is Tarling. He's retiring with a broken nose. I think the radiator might well be punctured too. There's 12, that's Nick Pansisi. He's trying to get past James Lovett. Ross Driver we ride on board with. That's David Wild up ahead. There's a bit of a slide in the middle of the corner. Driver just a bit wide. Gets it back together though. Trying to pass Wild in one of the Neil Fowler cars. Sponsored by Grandstand Motorsport is Wild. Through Beckett's they turn. Yellow flags down at Brooklands. It's Sam Mitchell who's just starting to pull away from Callum Grant. In third is Shaw, 4th is Sims. Then you've got Wainwright in 5th. Buckton being chased by Tilley. Then you have Ben Anderson, the former Formula V racer. Autosport Formula 1 editor is Anderson. Through and out of Luffield goes that freeway battle. It's David Wild trying to get back past Driver after Driver had passed him earlier in the lap. A bit further back, there's James Lovett and Nick Pansisi. They continue their battle. Lovett in another of the Neil Fowler cars. Out of Luffield they turn. Here's another good battle. That's Chris Sharples with Martin Haynes looking to the outside. You've got Alex Meek behind the pair of them. It's a great big gaggle there. Round the outside of Shaw comes Ben Sims. He flings his car through Cops Corner and goes ahead. Up to third. Fantastic pass there from Sims. This has been a fantastic battle between the pair. Down towards Beckett's. Down a gear for Shaw. He turns then through Beckett's. And he goes over. Contact from somebody behind. And Wainwright, I think that wasn't. Over goes Shaw. Goes through a massive puddle. Looks like he's going to try and rejoin here. There's Richard Tarling's car being pushed away by the Silverstone marshals, and they're being stuck in traffic. There is Callum Grant. He has to wait for the green flags to pass. I think up to fourth has come James Buckton in all that melee. There's Rob Wainwright. He's definitely lost out. He's behind Driver ahead of Flanagan. There in the Alexis is Cormac Flanagan. Novice cross still there for him. And now Ben Tilley attacking James Buckton, trying to look around the outside, and Buckton cuts him off a bit there. Ben Tilley getting slightly frustrated there, but he's going to put his head back down and chase back after Buckton. Behind Flanagan there, passes Rob Wainwright into Cops Corner. He slides through the turn. Wainwright trying to come back at him. We're looking back from Ross Dryborough. Down towards Beckett's they go. They are absolutely side by side behind, and Flanagan gets it under brake, and he got a lap that slower car, and Flanagan misjudges it, slides out wide, and Driver hits the curb and has a big old tank slapper there. He holds it well because the car definitely didn't want to go where he wanted it to. He eventually gets back onto the track. Leaders are back together here. Callum Grant has re-caught Sam Mitchell, so they're nose to tail for the lead once more. Behind, you've got Buckton and Tilley still battling. Rob Wainwright goes down the inside of David Wild. Behind it's Roland Svensson ahead of the recovering Ross Dryborough. Callum Grant's got a good run out of Woodcote. He's going for the lead here into Cops Corner. He's down the inside of Sam Mitchell. He's later on the brakes and he goes through. So Callum Grant takes the lead. He sat behind Sam Mitchell a lot of it. Look at the speed though. Mitchell carries down towards Beckett. He's looking to the inside here. Can he go through? Callum Grant leaving the room on the inside for Mitchell to use. But Grant carries the speed around the outside of the corner well. Looks like he's going to go ahead or stay ahead again. Grant and Mitchell, both former champions. Of course, Callum Grant, the current champion now, the 2016 champion. And Mitchell goes round the outside. Big slide he has through Brooklands though, but he's got the lead. They turn their way through Luffield. There is the number 40 car. Sam Mitchell, sponsored by Rest Express. Family run team that is. 31, that's Rob Wainwright. Chasing Roland Svensson. On board with Ben Tilley. He's going to have another go at James Buckton here, I think. This time the inside he goes for. In towards Cops, he's going to go through, I think. Tilley had to pass Buckton in the heat to take that victory, and he's passed him here as well. See Mark Shaw's car there, he did pull off in the end. Great battle here. There's Dick Dixon at the rear of it in his Lotus. Number 27. Here are the leaders, Mitchell and Grant. Few car lengths between them at the moment. You've got third base for Ben Sims. Now Ben Tilley, he's up to fourth. He's passed 8 cars in this race. After passing 20 earlier on. There's James Buckton. He's under pressure now from Ben Anderson, having his first weekend in the championship. Julian Pearce there being lapped by Rob Wainwright. Wainwright trying to go right round the outside of him. That's a long way round at Luffield. There's Bill Cowing. He's being lapped by Cormac Flanagan. Behind is number 6. That's Stuart Baird. Kevin Stanzel in number 20. There he is. He's is one of the many drivers that have had 4 races this weekend. Dick Dixon, he's in a Lotus battle with Nigel Adams there, turning his way through Brooklands, down towards Laffield. Two cars taking fairly different lines, but finding similar pace from it. Dick Dixon though much tighter out of Luffield, a good run there when he goes through, and ahead somebody's heading for the pits. Here are the leaders, absolutely together. Heading into the closing stages of this one, it's 40, Sam Mitchell that leads 43, Callum Grant. The 2 Merlins head up towards Woodcote Corner. Behind, Ben Sims is really being caught by Ben Tilley now. 3rd and 4th, they've got James Buxton behind. And through into the lead goes Callum Grant. At Cops Corner, he goes ahead of Sam Mitchell. We ride on board with Mitchell now, as he tries to come back at him, up towards Beckett. He's almost on the grass there. And Grant, much later on the brakes, goes ahead. Mitchell taking a much tighter line. He tries to come back at Grant now. He's in the tow. He's going to pull out of the tow, underneath the vehicle bridge, to get the lead back. And Ben Sims is being chased by Ben Tilley here. We're on the final lap too. The 15 minutes elapsed. Both 1st and 3rd being decided on this last lap. All the podium positions. But it looks to me Sam Mitchell that's going to take his 2nd victory of the season. He won at Oulton Park. And after a great battle with Callum Grant, couple of place changes on the last lap, hunches the air. The winner of the final round of the season is Sam Mitchell. Who's going to get 3rd? Well, Tilley did get ahead of Sims. It looked like he was drawing past, and he's going to grab 3rd. A great race from him, from carrying from the middle of the pack in the heat. A really good end of season drive there from Ben Tilley. Number 6, that's Stuart Baird. He's just ahead of Kevin Stanzel and Alistair Littlewood. You've got Roy Sergio ahead of Nick Pansisi and James Lovett. A bit further back, you've got Stuart Dix ahead of Andrew Wiggins, Chris Sharples, Alex Meek, and that's Mike Wales behind. It is Chris Sharples, I think, another driver that's had all 4 races this weekend, getting plenty of value for their money, these races. And Nigel Adams here has Martin Haynes looking to the outside in 23. I'll get right round him there at Luffield, but no, that couldn't pay off. Let's take a look at the results of the final round of the year then. A 14 lapper it was. It was a quarter of a second that Sam Mitchell beat Callum Grant by Ben Tilley. That great drive gave him 3rd. Ben Sims was 4th ahead of James Buxton, and Ben Anderson was 6th. David Wilde took 7th ahead of Roland Svensson and Rob Wainwright, whilst Driver completed the top 10 ahead of Matt Wrigley. Cormac Flanagan took 12th ahead of Stuart Baird. Then you had Kevin Stanzel in 14th. Alistair Littlewood, Roy Sergio, Nick Pansisi, James Lovett, Stuart Dix and Andrew Wiggins completed the top 20. Chris Sharples, Alex Meek, Mike Wales, Dick Dixon, Nigel Adams and Martin Haynes all finished on the lead lap. The only drivers to be lapped and finished were Julian Pearce and Bill Cowing. A fantastic year it has been for historic Formula Ford. Some really good racing. It was Callum Grant that came out on top in the championship, beating Rob Wainwright. Ben Sims took 3rd ahead of Ben Tilley. Mark Shaw was 5th. Sam Mitchell in a good part season took 6th ahead of James Buxton. Ben Tusting, Max Bartell and Will Nuttall, who weren't here at Silverstone, rounded off the top 10 ahead of Simon Toyne. Danny Stanzel beat Rob Tusting, Ross Driver and Kevin Stanzel was 15th. You can see the rest of the top 30 on your screen. So many drivers headed up the pack over the season. Various different people finished on the podium. A great season. It's the 50th anniversary for the Formula Ford 1600 category next year. Lots more great racing to come.